Yeah, so the intro's a little different for obvious reasons. Not really in a great mood right now, uh, but to a certain extent, I'm good. I'm happy that I'm not in a great mood right now. This video is about the latest police brutality incident. I call it state sanctioned murder of 29-year-old Tyree Nichols of Memphis, Tennessee. He was a FedEx worker. He had a 4-year-old son. He was murdered by some police officers in Memphis. I made a video a while back called State Sanctioned Murder, and the dynamics here are very interesting. All the officers involved with Mr. Nichols' murder were all black. Even more frustrating, I'm a member of the Divine Nine myself. I'm a member of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. There are 8 other organizations. One organization that I have a lot of respect for, Omega Psi Phi. Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. There were 3 of their members that were involved in the murder of Mr. Nichols. This is not a shot at Omega Psi Phi. Really, it's not. It's bigger than Greekdom. Period. It's just it's even more disappointing knowing what the members of Omega Psi Phi are taught as far as manhood uplift, different things like that, community uplift for black people. To know that these members of their organization betrayed what they pledged an allegiance to, and ultimately their loyalty to, they betrayed it. Omega Psi Phi doesn't stand for that. I'm only mentioning that because within my social circles, I see a lot of people mentioning the fact that the police involved were members of Omega Psi Phi. And this is bigger than Omega Psi Phi. They're black men. This is about black men being brutal and sadistic towards one another. So I don't want anyone to hear what I'm saying and then run with this narrative saying I'm attacking Omega Psi Phi or that I'm making this a Greek thing. It's so much bigger than that. But I'm pointing this out to just say, like, even the brothers that know better aren't doing better. And that's very problematic. And I don't like how people are spinning this narrative saying that it's epigenetics and that black people have this innate, inherent self-harm gene towards one another. I think that's BS. Watching the video, I watched the video. Mr. Nichols didn't deserve that. The tone that he spoke in, I'm not a police officer, but he seemed very compliant. He was very compliant. I think up until the point that he was afraid. He was afraid. Naturally so. It was a routine traffic stop. And I'm seeing people say things like, whoa, black people are quiet when black people harm other black people. That's BS. Black people are very vocal about black people harming other black people, whether it be on some street stuff or from black people who are certified police officers or have titles, whatever. There's nothing innately there's nothing innately about black people that makes us feel like it's okay for us to harm one another, and when we do, we just turn the other eye. No, we're very verbal. We're very vociferous about that. I remember being a little boy and seeing, marches that were us going out, that were contesting black on black crime. But my thing is like this. I said earlier that I'm glad that I'm not good, because I don't want to ever become desensitized to black murder, to black death. I think sometimes the trauma can numb you. But I'm glad that I do still feel, and that I want to challenge a narrative that's a false narrative that's being portrayed about black people. No, we don't co-sign this stuff. We don't think it's okay. We don't co-sign black people killing black people. We don't co-sign, whether it be on the street level or black people with titles. Like we're not okay with that. Like Mr. Nichols' mother said on the news, like these police officers, they shame their families. They shame the Memphis Police Department. They shame this country. They shame themselves. They shame the people, their loved ones, everyone that knows them, who considers them a friend. They shamed all of them. Whatever they are loosely or directly attached to, they shamed those people. But yeah, what I'm there are myriad things I want to say. But I guess ultimately I'm a solution-based person. One thing that I know about people, there are two things that they ultimately respect. Two things that people ultimately respect are the loss of life and the loss of finances. I am not advocating for black men to just run up on a squad car and start busting rounds and killing police officers. I'm not saying that's the solution. But you know, these police departments, they have these lofty ideals of protecting and serving. There needs to be a perpetual consequence, an everlasting consequence that doesn't necessarily just hit that there needs to be something that reverberates, that really sticks it to the police department. And by that I'm saying, okay, I already said I'm not advocating for armed resistance against the police department. I think that's stupid. But what I'm advocating for, again, I said the loss of life and the loss of finances, that things financially hit them. That this hits the pocket, the purse of the pensions of police departments. And I don't even think just one police department that incurred the infraction. I think it should pull away from a certain percentages of pensions across the country of police departments. So everyone sees, okay, y'all want to back the blue, then y'all need to move as one. And if y'all want to move as one, then y'all need to be affected as one. Okay? So I think we need to start hitting people's pensions, the funding that they get. You know, there needs to be a lasting impact for them to have an incentive not to just go for the gun, not to just turn into Sergeant Slaughter or get into just to respond violently to everything. That man was 150 pounds. Mr. Nichols was 150 pounds. Those guys, I'm 6 even, 285. Those guys looked like they were at least around. They were brolic, like stocky guys. You know the force was excessive. But yeah, until the funding, the money, the purse of police departments are negatively impacted, there will be no infrastructural change. You know, I think that the Nichols, you know, Mr. Nichols, his family, his child, they need to own the city of Memphis. The mother of his child, they need to own the city of Memphis. His mom, his stepfather, everyone needs, they need to own Memphis now. I think we have to do something that shows the police department policy. Something needs to be changed where it negatively impacts the economics of the police department. Till then, it'll just be another body on the concrete. I've seen a lot of black people speak intelligently about police brutality, how they're numb to it, how there needs to be a change, and it's like, no, the greater consciousness of all of us get it. Dynamics need to shift, and the only way I know to do that is there needs to be some type of policy, legislation that impacts the financial, pretty much the financial backing, the financial foundation, the financial economic base of the police departments. Because you'll think twice about pulling that trigger on whomever if you know, hey, my pension may be cut, my children may not be okay, my police department, our infrastructure may be negatively impacted because we're giving away money. I've always argued, you know, we live in a capitalist nation. Again, the only thing people really truly respect are the loss of life and the loss of finances. It is what it is. This isn't a long Mac minutes. I don't know what I'm feeling. Shout out to the people in Memphis for not reacting like everybody said you would or expected you to. Um, Even if it was totally in your right to want to tear shit up. It's not like we own most of the property. Um, but yeah, you know the police department definitely has been militarized. The police department, and I understand being a police officer is not an easy job. You daily have to put your life on the line and deal with a lot of sporadic, erratic behavior. But you signed up for that. And your first response can't be to kill. Kill because you find out your wife is cheating on you. Or kill because, I don't know, you got to pay child support. Or kill because this is whatever's going on in your personal life. Or because you feel threatened. Like, no, that can't, nah. There has to be more coaching. But we're past all that. Hit these people in their pockets, man. Yeah, it just, it is what it is, and it ain't much, man. And when I say it ain't much, just the arguments people use to defend this. But one, defend police brutality, you know. And the thing that's really interesting, I'm seeing black people, mainly black people, some white people, but mainly black people who are just saying like, we're okay with killing each other, blah 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 blah. And it's like, no, that's not true. But the thing that I do think is interesting is that these 5 black men that killed Mr. Nichols, they were removed swiftly from their duties. They were relieved swiftly, very quickly from their duties. I think that's interesting, and that's not me being in defending them. I just think it's interesting, like the swiftness of justice does not take place when it's white officers killing black civilians. Not to my knowledge. I've never seen it. But anyway, again, I guess this is Joe Biden's America. I hate to make this political, but shoot, everything is political. And like again, it's almost like it's ritualistic. It's like who will be next? And I just don't want my grandchildren, my great grandchildren growing up in a world where it's normative for there to be unjust police murder. Again, only way I know to impact them is to hit their pockets. Not only hit the pockets of the police departments, but hit the pockets of the people who oversee or who are stand in conjunction with the police departments, politically, economically, socially, whatever. Hit their pockets too. But anyway, it's the homie Mac. Each one teach one, peace and love. Signing out from the Dogon. Thumbs up, give me the likes. I'm out.